What's going on, veterans, military members, transitioning service members? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Veterans Claim Servants Off the Battlefield podcast. I'm excited to be with you today. Today, we are going to be talking about 5 VA supplemental claim tips to win your claim. Again, that's 5 VA supplemental claim tips to win your claim. If you're tuning in, like, subscribe, comment, share this out, hit that notification bell so that others can get the help that they need. And as always, thank you so much for your service. I myself am a retired Army veteran and just want to thank you for your service as well too. And this channel here is specifically for you to get the benefits, resources, education that you need so that you, my friends, can be in the best position to win your claim. So I really hope that this video today helps you. So I'm going to get right into it. Today we are talking about 5 VA supplemental claim tips. Okay. I really want you to be in the best position. If you got denied, I want you to understand why. In further videos coming up, we will be discussing the rating decision letters, and I will show you guys how to read those, what favorable findings mean, what they're saying. But today we're going to talk about what is new and relevant evidence. Okay. And I'm going to give you 5 tips to make sure that you're in the absolute best position to win your claim. Okay. So submitting a VA supplemental claim, it's a very important step for you, for the veteran seeking to have their benefits decision reconsidered based on new and relevant evidence. Okay. It's also very important to understand how long that they're taking right now. Okay. Currently right now, the current time frame for supplemental claims as of end of June 2024, the recording of this video, in July. Actually, we're going into July. Wow, 2024 is flying by, but the current time frame is about 5 to 6 months. Okay, so about 150 to 180 days from start to finish. Although the VA does have a set target of 125 days for the supplemental claim process. This goal does not reflect ground truth. Okay, they are backed up. Just make sure that you, the veteran, keep in mind that your supplemental claim could be faster or slower, right? Depending on whatever you're going through as well too. I don't know if you're homeless, at risk of being homeless, if you've lost your job, and I hope that's not your case. But if it is, depending on health circumstances or whatnot, that could depend on if you get frontlined or whatnot, or if your claim gets what I like to call red flagged. Okay. But the main reason VA supplemental claims are taking so long is because of the massive workload, right? Again, there's high turnover between the raters, and finding providers. There's close to 1 million pending claims. There's over 250,000 backlog claims. Some of these claim decisions, do lead to claim filings and appeals, which just go and backlog and take longer to get to, because you have to remember these raters, they've got to understand the 38 CFR. They're, the Code of Federal Regulations and how our ratings are obtained are, it takes a minute to get up to speed to understand all of that. If you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what you're looking at, it takes a little while. You aren't going to get that in one day. It's not like they're checking out groceries. So again, I'm not cutting any slack. There's so much that needs to be improved by the VA. However, that's why things are taking so long, especially whenever it comes to supplemental claims. Okay. And then when can you file your supplemental claim? Any previous denied claim that's being reopened with new and relevant evidence is a supplemental claim. And you can file a supplemental claim on a prior claim denial at any time. There is no time frame restriction. Remember, you can file a supplemental claim on a prior claim denial at any time. There is no time frame restriction. So what is the supplemental claim? It allows you, the veteran, to submit your new and relevant evidence that was not considered in your original claim, right? So, you got to make sure that it is new and relevant evidence. And remember, if you're going to submit it, I don't mean to insult your intelligence, but a veteran or your representative may submit the supplemental claim using VA Form 20 0995. So 20-0995, along with new and relevant evidence that was not included in the initial claim that you got denied for. You can submit a supplemental claim online, by mail, or in person, faxing it in. But I recommend online. Okay, that's exactly what I would do. So make sure that you have va.gov downloaded. That is going to be in the description of this video. And also the VA form 20-0995, that is going to be in the description of this video as well too. But again, now listen, if they've made a mistake and evidence was not considered in your claim, you need to read that rating decision letter and you need to do a higher level review. If they just flat out messed up, if there's a clear and unmistakable error or a duty to assist error, you need to do a 20-0996. You need to do a higher level review. Have your representative there. If it's just you, and do an informal conference. An informal conference, it gives you that option online when you're requesting a higher level review. Okay. So let's get into these 5 tips. Okay. The supplemental claim, it's a super important step for you, for me. If we have new and relevant evidence that was not considered before, maybe we need continuity of care, maybe we need a nexus letter, maybe we need a nexus opinion or a DBQ. I don't know. But again, I'll be teaching how to read those rating decision letters. But number one, you need to understand what new and relevant evidence means. Okay. This is evidence. So let's go with new evidence. It's the evidence that was not previously considered in connection with the specific claim, right? Before. So you don't want to throw anything else that was in there before because the VA already has it. But like, let me give you an example. Submitting a new Nexus letter would be considered new evidence not previously considered, or if it's new medical records, or if you couldn't find something in your active duty STRs or your C file, and let's just call it your ankle, and you did find a sick call slip or a doctor's note or a diagnosis from active duty, you need to do that. You need to submit that then. That would be new and relevant evidence. A Nexus letter would be new and relevant evidence. Maybe you got denied and they said no, the higher level reviewer or the VA said, no, we're going to keep your PTSD at 50%. And you're saying, look, it is worse. I am homeless. So you go get you an outside medical opinion from a board certified psychiatrist or psychologist, and you do a mental health increase or PTSD increase. And then guess what? You get that DBQ. That is new and relevant evidence. Okay. So what is relevant evidence? This is evidence that could substantiate the claim by proving or disproving something regarding the case. The same Nexus letter highlighted, that I just mentioned above, that would be relevant if it's directly related to your case, right? So again, make sure that it is relevant evidence pertaining to the particular claim that you are filing for, right? Number 2, you need to clearly state why the evidence is relevant. Always submit a 214138. Always do a statement in support of claim. You are your best advocate. Make sure that you articulate why you're doing what you're doing and the evidence that you're submitted. So you make sure that VSR, so that rater, that adjudicator is not missing anything, right? So when submitting your supplemental claim, clearly explain why the new evidence is relevant and how it supports your case. This helps the VA understand what you're going through. It helps them to understand the significance of the evidence and how it impacts your claim. And again, make sure that it is new evidence and make sure that it is relevant. So number 1, new evidence and relevant evidence. Number 2, make sure that you clearly state why the evidence is relevant. Okay. Now, number 3, you need to gather the comprehensive evidence. You need to understand, did you get a favorable finding in your rating decision letter? They're acknowledging maybe that in 1999 you hurt your ankle, but it's 2024. You got to ask yourself, do I have up-to-date ankle care? Do I have up-to-date back care with 20 years of space in between? Again, time is your biggest enemy. So you need up-to-date continuity of care. You need up-to-date relevant medical records that relate to your ankle or your back or whatever you're filing for. You can't have a big gap in there, because if it comes across my desk, I'm going to be looking at your claim going, what in the world are are you being seen? Are you not being seen? Is it still bothering you or not? It's like, okay, I understand that that happened to you while you were in. I get that you're filing for it, but you also need to show that you're getting care for it. So maybe it's continuity of care. If you have a favorable finding and there's no link, right? The link is the nexus, right? You need to seek an independent medical opinion. I've got two, I've got, if you need an independent medical opinion and you don't want to get screwed over on price or nothing like that, I'm not here for that. Make sure that you reach out to me at info@veteransclaimservants.com. That is my email is here in the description of this video. And you can reach out to Dr. Sharma, who's in the description of this video, his email, or Dr. Lopez, right? And if it's musculoskeletal, I have doctors and stuff that write that, write those Nexus letters for you that I can point you to put you in the best position. And they're going to look at your evidence to make sure that it's there. And again, if you need an Nexus letter, reach out to me, info@veteransclaimservants.com. My email is in the description of this video. But you, my friends, you veterans, you need to understand that if you have favorable findings, then you do need that. Okay. You will most likely need to link together why this caused this. Okay. And remember, if you're doing a secondary claim too and stuff and you got denied before, you need a Nexus letter. You need a diagnosis, a disability benefits questionnaire, I recommend, and a Nexus letter. Okay. You need to prove how something causes something. So make sure that you have that independent medical opinion. That's tip number 3. Okay. Right. Number 4 is be specific about whatever it is that you are, whatever they denied. Make sure that you are very, very specific. Okay. You need to clearly identify the specific aspects of the VA's decision that you believe are incorrect and are now contesting with the new evidence. This helps focus the review on the most pertinent parts of your claim. Okay. So you need to do that. I always recommend have a statement in support of claim. Hey, I am contesting this because of this. Okay. Here is my new and relevant evidence. And another thing, only submit new and relevant evidence. Don't submit a million pages of medical records and 3 of them are relevant, because it's going to take the rater that much longer to dig through, and you're going to be wondering why your claim is taking so long. So make sure that you are, again, specific about what you are filing a supplemental claim for and you are contesting. Okay. You've got to make sure of that. Right. And then the next thing, the last thing, number 5, is make sure that you are prepared for all outcomes. Okay. You need to understand what could happen if your supplemental claim is not decided in your favor. You also need to be prepared, right? I can't force you to go get treatment. You need to go get the treatment that you need. Remember, you can always request a higher level review of the supplemental claim decision unless you're out of higher level review appeal options. You can also request a board appeal. I don't recommend that if you don't need to, but you could do that if you want a veterans law judge to review your case. And then finally, you can also file another supplemental claim if you have more new and relevant evidence to submit. There's no uh, time limits or constraints on that. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Okay, you need to be prepared and you need to be proactive because you're your best advocate. Okay, so understand, number 1, what new and relevant evidence means. Right, make sure that you clearly state why the evidence is relevant. Right, make sure that you gather the evidence that you need. Make sure that you seek independent medical opinions if you need that. Okay, number 4. And then number 5, make sure that you are prepared ahead of time for whatever the outcome may be. Make sure that you're continuing to get treatment, right? And make sure that if you don't know what you're doing, don't just throw things at a wall and hope that it sticks, right? Don't just throw sand in the air and see where it falls. Make sure that you understand the evidence that you are submitting for your claim that is filed and the new and relevant evidence for your supplemental claim. Okay. Definitely, I want you to win. I want you to be in the best position. I want you to get what you deserve because you serve this country. So those are the five tips to win your supplemental claim. Okay. So in this video, again, we learned what a supplemental claim is when you file your supplemental claim. And I went over relevant tips. I went over 5 relevant tips that are very, very vital and very important for you to understand if you get denied what new relevant evidence means, preparing, being ahead of the power curve, and where you can find Nexus letters and things like that, right? You can, Dr. Prashant, Dr. Lopez, you can reach out to me, info@veteransclaimservice.com, and I'm going to point you in the right direction. Okay. Again, here in a future video, we will be going over the rating decision letter and reading that and understanding that as well too, so I can teach you guys how to understand that. Okay. So again, thank you for your service. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz to this channel. I really want this to help you out. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service to our country. Until next time, we are out. I am out. Peace.